Yeah.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm going to call to order now the general meeting for the NAACP for Anne Arundel County, May the 18th. It's now 10:07 a.m. And I'm going to start off with a prayer, and you're going to proceed to approval of the agenda. Let me pray. Thou art great and doest wondrous things. Thou art God alone, according to Psalm 86:10, and we bow to you as God alone. We thank you for Jesus who died for us on Calvary's cross. Lord, we ask that you reign supreme in the general meeting of the NAACP for Anne Arundel County. God, our hearts and our minds will follow, so we are on one accord, interacting with one another with love and respect. Have your way, Lord, in this meeting as we do the great work of the NAACP. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Thank God. Amen. Amen. The agenda, I got the agenda from Brother Downey, but apparently Mr. Thomas didn't get one, so it was the last minute. So anybody has the agenda? If not, I think he put on in front of you the typical.
I'll give it to you. You and
Oh, you gonna give it to me? What's the typical agenda? So
yeah.
And you look at it. Okay, well anyway, it's a typical agenda, so let me just get a motion from Ms. Thomas since she had a chance to look at it, and second to proceed.
Make a motion that the agenda be accepted for the meeting.
Seconded.
Okay, motion has been moved and second. Let's proceed. The approval, the minutes of previous meeting, we have to wait till Mr. Downey gets back to get that, Dr. Dodoni. Now let's proceed straight to the reports of the officers. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the president. We're gonna skip down to the treasurer after that. As many of you know, at least the ones from the executive committee meeting, everybody knows that I had a meeting with Dr. Bedell. We're gonna have our end of the year forum for the parents like we had last year. And this year the focus is gonna be on what's in place to kind of lower the high rates of arrest of marginalized students in the school. My plan is to have both chiefs of police there as well at the forum to kind of share the things that they put in place. They have a wonderful diversion program in this police department, and I want them to share so the parents can get an idea of what's in place to try and lower the arrest of marginalized students. Also, of course, Dr. Bedell has some things he wants to share with parents, in particular from our community, about what they can do to assist him and trying to lower these interactions with students and resource officers. Also, I want to report that I attended the Kunta Kinte launch party. And at that launch party, we learned that the Kunta Kinte Festival this year will not be at the dock like it's been for some time now. It will be at the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium on September the 14th. The reason they explained to us why they moved it there, they said because when it's down on the dock, the space is so limited, they have a lot of vendors who are trying to get involved in it, and they have to turn them down. They just didn't have the space. So they moved it down to the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, which is gigantic. So of course they're gonna have quite a room. We expect it to be quite a festival this year on September the 14th.
14,000 last year.
Yeah, expected way more than that.
Plus property will not be a problem at the stadium.
Right, right. And so, so that was a good, some good news. Okay, it's gonna be larger. They have more people there, more vendors. So that's a good thing. Um, I've also, you remember when we had last month, this police department shared with us the inner workings of the police department, which was extremely insightful. And so I've been in communication with the chief of Arundel County Police Department, Chief of Wide, and I asked her would they give a presentation on the inner workings of the police department. You remember when we had our presentation by this police department last time? They talked about just the K9 unit, CIS, and all, and their partnership with the FBI, and so many magnificent things that they're trying to do to make sure that citizens receive the best service. And we were so impressed with that. As you remember, he stood here and gave us a presentation. And it was so impressed. Somebody said, Reverend Jones, why don't we get the Arundel County Police Department to do the same thing? And so I talked to Chief. So she's working on that. And as soon as we can get a date, I'll let everybody know. So that's going along pretty smoothly. Of course, I've been attending the CAL meetings, all of them. And of course, the emphasis was on voting, the importance of it, and of course, and the ramifications if we fail to vote. So we don't have to talk about that because we proceeded there. And I'm gonna leave you with this. There's a movement, and actually brought to the governor's attention to rename Francis Scott Key Bridge. Many people don't know about Francis Scott Key, but this was a gentleman, of course, who had a connection with slavery and was very, had the same mindset of probably the majority of white folk in our country at that time during his lifetime, just think they're superior to everybody else. And so we're trying to get this bridge name. I think Perrin Mitchell will be thinking about some great people from our community who've done great work. We're trying to get it renamed. I don't know if you all know this, but the Congress of African American leaders kind of pushing this, and Mr. Snowden got some hate mail behind this kind of stuff. He actually read it to us in one of the meetings, and you'd be surprised. People talking about it in 1920 or something. And so in any event, we're proceeding. We're going to be supporting that effort. And so that's all I have to share in my report here. And so we're going to, if there's a question or something, make sure you raise your hand. But if not, we're going to proceed here. And so next question. Sister Roman, you ready?
Yeah. All right, so for our treasurer's report, the beginning of April, our beginning balance was $24,789.36. And then we had.
Where's that number? Where's that number? 20. Where's it?
It's at the beginning.
Top right hand side. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then so expenses was $4,177.01. And our deposits was $1,044.58. Our total balance at the end of the month was $21,656.93.
Wonderful. Mr. Tom, do you want to give us an update concerning the funds that we try to retrieve?
Well, briefly, we didn't have the fund. He was arrested. Apparently, he said the detention center. He was also an outstanding warrant for something else. I don't know what that was called. But his lawyer wasn't there. He told me personally, I in the face, said the lawyer had the money. The lawyer supposed to write me a check, which is what he did to that. The lawyer wrote me a check for $5,000 6 months ago. He said the lawyer did the same thing. As of today, they're not receiving a check. The judge even said the same thing. That's not the lawyer's responsibility, that's your responsibility. You made a commitment to court, you made a commitment to NAACP. So you didn't follow through. So he was taken away in handcuffs.
I got you. Okay, so basically, just get us money before. I did give you a call because we get ready to get started. I wanted to make sure nobody was coming up. Yeah, nobody's out here. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for that update, sir. We appreciate that.
And a couple of quick things with the treasury report.
Okay.
We had 2 disbursements last month that were pretty large. One of them was the national, the annual report from last year. 1,400, I believe.
That's on the treasury report, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's on the on the
Yeah, it was $1,546. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it.
a portion of national gifts from all of our fundraisers that we do. And the other item was books that we purchased for the $2,000. Yeah, $2,000 is not a true figure because a lot of that was donated.
Right.
About 1,500 donations.
Okay.
So it didn't impact on the treasury because we had an income for those books. And as you well know, the books are plus.
Right.
We're giving away at Holy Guys, we're giving away at different functions. It's definitely a plus.
Okay, good. Excellent. Thanks for that additional information about that. Appreciate it. At this point here, I'm going to proceed to, we're going to go straight down to climate justice. Dr. Gary did provide a report. Everybody knows I've been asking for written reports from everybody. Not everyone has done that, but Dr. Gary provided her written report. There was no action item, but she said on April 23rd, she attended the Commission on Environmental Justice and Sustainable Community Commissioners meeting. And so, and April the 30th, she attended the post-session debrief MDE permitting. And so that's all she has to share in her report. You know, we have some questions about that. We can ask her when she gets back. Community coordination. I did get the report from Sister Sky Bailey. I don't know if you all had a chance to print it out, but some good information in here about Juneteenth coming up, June the 21st and 22nd. Mr. Tom, do you know those? Is that the Saturday we have our general meeting? Because last year we had to cancel our general meeting because we were all at Juneteenth. Do you know the 22nd?
Well, you have a copy of the meeting schedule in front of you.
Yeah, I think it's a different Saturday.
Oh, okay, good. So about the miss our meeting. I knew we had to miss it last year. Okay, so gotcha. Okay, so she shared that. Also, the 15th. Okay, good. So won't interfere with us this year. All right, good. She also shared something about Court Watch DC training on May the 30th.
And one more thing about Juneteenth, I look at voter registration. We have positions there. We want to volunteer assisting on that day. We go to registration. And also this parade. Juneteenth parade on March for the parade. Last year we were what 20 people, 15 people, 4 of us. We had children marching the parade. 2 cars, 3 cars.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying it was 2 or 3 cars.
Juneteenth parade last year.
There's one thing in Sister Bailey's report that really grabbed my attention, and I've been thinking about for some time. They have Court Watch in DC. Court Watch training gonna be Thursday, May the 30th from 7 to 9. Now listen to this. Court Watch DC is a growing DC-based program that provides the space and training for the community to observe local court proceedings in the District of Columbia and document our city's policies in action, and to hold judicial actors accountable for injustice in the court system. That was an idea I shared some years ago about getting lay people to observe the court proceedings, to watch these judges. Some, being involved in practice for over 30 years, sometimes I've noticed that when lay people are sitting in the courtroom, the judge, his demeanor changes. What he speaks changes. What he says changes. And so it's almost like the community is holding you accountable to adjudicate in a fair and just manner. And with eyeballs on you, it makes you think twice the way you behave. And I've seen at times when there were no lay people in the courtroom, and the way some of those judges behaved was unbelievable. And so this idea, I never heard of Court Watch. I didn't know they were trying to do that in DC. This is something would be a good idea in this state as well. But I just wanted to pass that on because it was an idea I had that I shared in the past with judge and stuff, but just didn't go anywhere. But I gotta pass that on to Sister Sky Bailey. That's something we need to think about seriously. So I'll have some more. I'm gonna talk to her. I'm gonna have some more ideas about that probably at the next meeting. Yes, sir.
And what you're saying is, I noticed that as well. I've been to court about 3 times in this case, and the second time I was there, the judge didn't know I was there, and she proceeded to talk to the individual. The last time I was in court, she found out I was a victim. I was there. Her whole demeanor changed.
Yeah.
She asked me to come forward. She was she apologized to me for the court. About me for it. But we made a commitment that he would ADC, and he didn't do ADC, and he would be, properly adjudicated. So she rescheduled the violation probation. This was supposed to be a violation probation.
Right.
She said, well, since he said he had the money, we'll give him one more shot.
Okay.
Just to tell him, excuse me, But she was, different when she found out the victim was there.
Absolutely. It's very real. Attorneys, if you've been practicing over 3 decades, we know that like the back of our hand, and we see it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so this idea, I got to talk to Sister Bailey about, how they got that set up, because that's something I'm probably talk about this a little bit more before my term comes in, about maybe something we can kind of explore a little bit more, because it has a very, very chilling effect on bad behavior by judges, because they see people from the community looking at them. And so I got to talk to them more about that. That's a great idea. I know they had that set up over in DC, but find out how they got that set up. Maybe we can kind of explore that a little bit. You got a question? I'm gonna certainly check into it because it's just a great idea, you know. Next, criminal justice. I don't really have to share about that. Criminal justice report is basically what I said earlier concerning me communicating with Chief White about them giving us a presentation on the inner workings of the police department. We try to come up with a date. When I brought up to her, I didn't want to push it on right away like today. So she's gonna let me know she got to talk to the people, the folk who actually put that presentation on. And so when I get the date, I'm gonna let everybody know, of course. Education, Linda Davis had a thorough report in her ACT coordination. I don't know if you ever had a chance to look at that. It's real thorough. I won't try to summarize that. I'll just look at it, but she always does a good job with her reports. They're very active in the community, and so you can take a look at that, read that. So very good, very good. She always does a good job with her written reports as I've requested. Already talked about criminal justice, education. Dr. Dodoni, she had a nice report. I want to share something about Dr. Dodoni. And Dr. Dodoni got to get recognized. I'm gonna make sure she gets recognized as free from banquet because she's done a marvelous job with education. And another thing that she's doing.
You said she could be appointed to an issue.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to share that. Get ready to share that with you. People here. I told you I had a meeting with Dr. Bedell, and one of the things that we talked about is, of course, the blueprint for the blueprint for Anne Arundel County Public Schools, and they have a planning. They have this planning committee. They got various committees, about 5 different committees, and one of them is excellence in education. And I talked to him about making sure he appoint Dr. Dodoni to the excellence in education as he trying to implement the blueprint and making sure that all the young people can reach the goal. Here it is. That's what I'm looking for. It's going to be a strategic plan priority team. They have 5 different teams, and one of them is achieving academic excellence. And I actually make sure he appoints Dr. Dodoni to that. He says he's going to do that. And I asked him, because a lot of times we hear about the blueprint for academic excellence in Anne Arundel County. And I asked Dr. Bedell to kind of give me in a nutshell, what's that all about? And I want you to hear this. This is what it is. The community driven blueprint. He said it is a plan to assure every kid gets the social, emotional, and academic growth to realize their future. We must also create a sense of belonging for every kid where they are able to grow and succeed in a globally competitive world. And so they have the 5-step, the 5 strategic plan priority teams. Those 5 is in a brochure, and you're gonna get one to me when I get that. I'm gonna share it with everybody next month's meeting so you can see. It seems like Dr. Bedell has a brilliant idea to try to help our children succeed academically. And they really strategized with this in a beautiful way. They had a meeting at the Board of Education concerning it. So everybody seems to be on board with that. And I grabbed this little brochure we had the 5 places. John, that's mine. Let me give you yours. And I want to bring it so everybody can see it. But I just want you to know they make excellent strides to help our children do better in school. So that's all I wanted to share. So Dr. Dodoni could share some more with you because of her respect for authority, her knowledge about education, and the support of Reverend Jones. I asked him to put on that one of the strategic planning, one of the strategic plans. It's called the Strategic Plan Priority Team. I actually asked him to put on one. He agreed to do that. So she's gonna be there and can be our eyes and ears in this process. All right, let us proceed here. Let's follow education, finance. You just want to share that we had our meeting.
Yeah, we met together and went through everything, and everything looked good.
Okay, everybody heard that? We went through every penny that's been spent by this branch to make sure everything is balancing and everything's in order. Myself, Sister Stansberry, Sister Roman, and Mr. Thomas. And I just want everybody to know Sister Roman is doing a marvelous job assisting here. And I'm very proud of her. Thank you, Sister Roman. Freedom Fund Banquet. Mr. Downing is working on that. He gave us a report briefly about how they still in the process now of finding another hotel. The hotel we had last year, somebody got that November 15th date from us. So we got to find another hotel. At the next executive board meeting and the general meeting next month, I got some great news to share with everybody. But so you just have an idea here in the process now of looking for a hotel. So if have any connections with hotel owners or managers, be sure you let him know, because we're gonna need more space, this year. Okay. So he gave his report, and so let's go to the next report. All right, health. Mrs. Priscilla Crawford gave us her report, and she's talked, and she mentioned to the executive committee meeting, but she wants to also share with everybody that Anne Arundel County is holding a listening session to see how we can better support new moms and moms to be in our county. And she gave the website for availability and time. So if you want to write this website down, you can, www.aahelp.org, about this, provide better support to new moms and moms to be in our county, www.aahelp.org. Okay. That's Mrs. Priscilla Crawford. Priscilla Monroe, yo. That's who. All right. Let's proceed to labor and industry. Reverend Jenkins, sir. Anything you want to share with us? Good. All right. Legal redress. The only thing I got to share with legal redress, everybody knows that from the time I became president, I've been taking care of legal redress, responding to all complaints and things of that nature, giving people guidance. And sometimes they think they need legal guidance. Sometimes they don't need that. But I give whatever they need, whether it's legal or non-legal. And the only thing that within the last month that's came to my attention, somebody was trying to file a formal complaint and our website wouldn't allow them to do it. We have a problem with it. So it was a technical issue. I brought your attention to Mr. Downing. I think he brought your attention to Mr. Roman as well. I'm not sure, but I know I brought it to his attention, and they got it fixed. They got it fixed. So now people can file complaints again. I'll proceed with responding to all of them. So that's all we have to share with legal redress. Membership. I heard from Sister Davenport. Y'all, we haven't seen her in a while. So I reached out to her, and she said she was going to be online today. But this is a report, very brief. Dear Reverend Jones and members, our membership number is down for this month, but hope to increase next month. The memberships committee is working on a flyer to send to the members after approval by President Jones. In our flyer, we will be asking our members to take out a membership in honor of your father as a Father's Day gift. If our request is approved by President Jones, we hope to send the flyers to our community leaders as well. We will have the flyers ready by midweek. Thank you in advance for your support. Report Christy Davenport, and I'm real happy to hear from her. And of course, Reverend Jones going to support that. And so that's where we are concerning that. She said membership numbers are down for this month, but I want everybody to know, as I shared with everybody, our membership has grown from the day I started as president, January 2023. We've never had loss of membership. Membership's always grown in terms of more people coming in than anybody leaving. So I just want everybody to know that. And so she says it's down this month. As long as it keeps coming, we in good state here. Yes, sir. So your hand.
You had five and stuff.
Good.
Civil life membership.
Wow. And we've got a few life memberships done by President, right? How many we got, you know? We got a few life memberships, right? Yeah, we got a few of them. So anyway, that's good news, everybody. So that's all Sister Davenport had to share. All right. Our membership. Skip political action press. Prison branch. Sister Green called me, said she would be able to be here and she would get a report, but I didn't get it. Unless somebody looked at the reports this morning from the email this morning from Brother Downing, I didn't get it. No, but she did communicate about it. She would be able, but she said she can try to get a report here. All right. Let's see. Public religious affairs, youth development, women. Okay. Now, this is what we've been doing here since I've been president. With unfinished business, that's about the reports that have been given. If one of the reports address something, but they don't think they addressed it thoroughly, or there's something else related to like education that we may have overlooked, you can bring to our attention. I'll bring it to our chair's attention. So any unfinished business based on the reports that have been given. Okay.
I would like to
yes, sir.
add something to that.
Please, sir.
I've been appointed to the state superintendent's assessment and accountability board because the superintendent recognizes that the STAR system that we use to rate schools doesn't work. you look at this chart, low income at the top, high income at the bottom. 5 rated schools are mostly high income families.
Right.
Low income families are mostly in the 1-star schools.
Mhm.
Question is, how do you change that?
So it makes our sense. So this is showing us the gist of this is that the disadvantaged families and children are the ones in the poor schools.
Correct.
I see, okay. And the ones who have the
There are
money in
several
the
problems
best
with
schools.
this chart, in my opinion.
Huh?
There are several problems with this chart, in my opinion.
Yes, sir.
Well, first off, the star rating has some hand waving in it. And so 5 rated schools, they have a number in there called quality, and they can add some numbers to that. And so their schools aren't really as good as that says. That's the first. Number 2 is the low income population is not all Black. And white people have the idea that when you look at a chart like this, that's Black schools.
Right.
Problem with that is that white people aren't fighting to improve the schools because they think bad schools are all Black. Right. And so it's important to change that.
I just, in consistent with that, I just got some statistics showing that most people in this country on food stamps are white people.
That is correct.
See, a lot of times people think black folk, but
A
most
large
of
majority,
who benefit from food stamps are white people in this country.
large majority.
Which kind of,
And on welfare.
and all
Welfare,
that,
right, welfare also, social service.
it's kind of in line with what you're saying right here. It thinks all black schools doing poorly, but it's not. I understand. Go ahead, sir.
Also, the blueprint provides extra money for people who become National Board certified. I know in Anne Arundel County, most of those people are white. Question is, what schools are they in? What are the stars of the schools that they're in?
Right.
So those are questions that I'm raising.
Okay, thank you for giving me this. When I meet with Dr. Liddell again, we're gonna talk about this as well. And he may even address this at our end of the year meeting. Okay, like we had last year, we're gonna do it again this year. He and I talked. We had lunch this week, and we talked about that. And he's really excited about coming because he has a lot to say to parents in terms of helping reduce the interaction between students and resource officers. And he has some ideas for parents he wants to share. So he's kind of really looking forward to our end of the year meeting this time.
So I add one more thing.
Yes, sir.
And that is that Dr. Bedell has a strategic planning group put together. And the name up here in the right hand corner here is, oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't say. He had a facilitation group facilitate developing the strategic plan. And people from all different communities were involved in developing that.
Right.
I wanted to report that Mary Dodoni gave one of the best speeches of the people who were involved. There were 7 speeches. And her speech was about the fact that during the process, she was sitting next to a person who, the 2 of them obviously knew that they wouldn't be in alignment. But through their conversation, they discovered that they had the same goals. And I want to say that because too often we don't want to talk to people who we think don't think like we do. Right. But we never talk about goals. When we talk about goals, it changes the conversation.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay, also, you weren't here when I shared about my luncheon with Dr. Bedell. They have 5 strategic plan priority teams. And one of them is achieving academic excellence. And I asked him to place Dr. Bedell on that team. He agreed to do it. He also said that Dr. Bedell's presentation, what you talking about?
Yes,
He said it was excellent.
it was absolutely
He
excellent.
said it was excellent. He did make a comment on it.
But not just what you
No,
said. No.
too much was going on.
Okay.
Yeah, so Dr. Donnie, she's I'm pushing her. Dr. Bedell, everybody get in there. But she's an excellent representative of our branch, and she knows our education. So she's gonna be our end, so to speak, quote unquote, on the strategic planning for this county, so we can stay abreast of what's going on.
Country patches on the back, patches on the back to the books. She's very instrumental in getting funds for the, yes.
For the books, yes, every year.
Yeah.
Every year. Okay, so, if there's any other, we had unfinished business now, just about the reports that have been given. Any other comments on reports that have been given?
Good morning. I apologize. It's been 5 miles, so. Yeah,
Glad you made it, brother.
thank you. One of the things we talked about, as Brother Jones and I, matter of fact, Pastor Jones, and we talked about at some point, was modeling. Well, how do we do some modeling, building that into the strategic plan?
Yeah.
And when I refer to modeling, I'm talking about creating a school or that caters to, first of all, taking all the fancy $200 sneakers and $400 pants and all that out. Have kids come to school in uniform, make a separation. And I recognize in public school between separating the genders, because that is working. First of all, it's working in Barbados very well. In the Caribbean, it's working I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it happening in Florida.
You talk about school
Uniforms and separating the genders.
Yeah.
I went to parochial school,
That's it.
went to Catholic high school.
Yeah.
We were separated.
Right.
It worked very well. Everybody learned
Right.
at a rate of probably 85 to 90%. And I think that's something that we miss in our schools here in America. It's catching on, but it's not catching on fast enough, because obviously the crime rate among the youth are just exploded.
Right.
But I think the schools should take a position that if they could set up a model school where they separate first of all, gender separation with uniforms, that cuts out a lot of the craziness in these schools, because boys are usually showing off for the young girls, and the girls are usually showing off for the boys. And I think that once there are too many distractions. I think that's the word. Too many
I don't
distractions.
think that's been discussed.
I've
discussed with Dr. Bell myself. I don't even know that. I don't think I've heard that any time. The schools just now.
not landlord kind of nowhere.
Mr. Jones, have you heard it? I think you can.
No, but, you separate that. What you do is you get rid of the skills that young ladies can get in our society. I married a woman who was an electrical engineer in 1959. Wow. Not many women would be in electrical engineering if we separate the races. Now, let me just.
I didn't
put
say separate races.
I
didn't say
no,
races.
excuse me, I didn't mean race. I didn't mean that. Sexist. Let me take this further. Our community doesn't really get the fact that this world is changing at an accelerated rate.
pace. That's right.
Okay, so I worked in computers in 1959. How many black people you know work in computers?
I didn't get in until 1963.
And most people who are working in computers are on the user side and not on the development side. But if we don't develop the things, we don't get benefit, the real benefit of these inventions, okay? So what did I read about? AI is taking over the computing world, right? Guess what? Quantum computing is taking over the computer world. But you might read that quantum computing is changing. And it's moving to magnetic quantum computing, which will be significantly faster than the quantum computing of today. I'm just saying this to tell you that this world is changing, and if we don't get our feet in it, we're done.
I have to look. If I may, I'd like to bring that down, because I think you went from I think you went from 1 to 21. I'm talking about the exposure, conduct, behavior, and appearance, and of our youth and what's going on in our school today. What you're talking about, I think, is phenomenal, and we need to address that, absolutely. But you got to start, to me, coming out of the environment I came out of the urban environment of New York City, and you're familiar with that.
I'm not disagreeing with you in terms
But
of that.
my point is, the point I'm trying to make is, got to start somewhere, where do you start? How do you create models?
With
that-
families.
Okay, that's one thing, but families don't always get it.
They don't get it
Unfortunately,
without help.
that's right. And where do you start to help? That's all.
But
That's my
let's conclude with that, because I saw Sister Smith's hand next, and then I'll go to Grandma Moore's hand. Okay, so Smith, I saw your hand up. You wanna add something to this? I saw your hand up.
No.
So, okay, Morris, if that's something you want to share. Mr. Tell me to go after Grandma Morris.
I think that if we even went that way, it would be explosive because of the fact we have the LGBT or whatever, children. I mean, this is a part of the society in which we live in, and separating the boys and the girls with I just don't know how we maneuver that code.
I agree.
That is something.
That may be also a barrier in even having this discussion about the animal.
You know,
I've never heard anybody discuss it.
Yeah, the irony of that is it works well in the Catholic schools.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real.
And my wife now with Jamaica, we're children coming out of school, uniform, the girls with the
That's
girls,
right.
so all that.
That's right. I mean, what's to say that it's not a viable option for us to make an attempt, even at a model, to see if it works? That's all.
Sorry, said it.
Listen,
That's it, you'd be in trouble.
yeah. Mr. Thomas, just so you know.
You might think it would work, it might work, but to implement it, you'd be in trouble.
I was gonna say the same thing. That's not affecting the real world. The real world is you go to a job, you have men, women, ABC there.
Yeah.
So why not schools reflect what you're really going into?
And also, legal, this also.
I guess
may be
I'm
a
talking
code.
about, I'm talking about,
Yeah,
I'm talking about 1 through, what is it? I 1 through 8, grades 1 through 8 parochial school, and 9 through 12 in high school. And I didn't lose anything.
Let's just say
So,
this,
That's the only thing.
let me get move on. Let's say, I think also, it's so bigger than just separating, because it's a cultural thing as well. In Jamaica, it's against the law to engage in homosexuality.
Mm.
It's called buggery. You go to jail for
Right.
10 years.
Mhm.
So the very things that we talk about be complicated here, it's not complicated there.
Right.
So it really works out well there. And so just so many facets of this, you know, it just I don't know. It seems like society is going another direction, unfortunately, because it's working in places where like Caribbean nations, some of them it's working there. Okay, so unless there's something else, another question on this same topic, Grandma?
You have a question, are we allowed to ask questions?
Questions about the reports that were given, if you have a question about the reports.
So if I might understand, we're having meetings, I know we can't talk about anything but the report.
About the reports that were given, if you have a question or comment about the reports that were given in unfinished business and new business, it's all about the reports that were
Okay,
given.
so do we have new business?
We about to get the new business
Okay,
about
that's fine.
new business about something about the reports that were given and new business, because sometimes people may miss something. And so we're going to new business now. If you have something you want to share about something that was reported on, you can share this.
I don't think what he said was reported on.
We were still talking about education. So that's what we're talking about.
Right.
So I just want, I'm not trying to start anything, I just want to, so we're having meetings and we can't bring anything new and, so if someone doesn't bring it in with a written report,
Right.
we can't have a general discussion about something
About,
as a meeting.
you can have a general discussion about what we reported on, because sometimes the reports are not as thorough as they could be. So if you got something new about what was reported on, that's fine. Like he
So
shared about
we-
parochial school, that's kind of, but related to school.
So I need to clarify, because I have a question, well, we don't have freedom of speech in an NAACP meeting, and it's not a negative, it's just a question about correcting something, and I'd really like to ask, and you can get back in writing, but I think I do have a question.
Okay,
Well,
Rebecca.
first of all, I have two things, if I might.
Okay, no, hold on for a minute. If you have a question, it's not about what the reports are, you can send it to me in writing, respond in writing, but not during the meeting here, unless it's about the reports, that's what we're focusing.
I just want to say
Any
hello, good morning, everyone, and we now have a new law in Maryland, the Capital Morris Definitely Classification Act. I just want to put that out there. And I also want to ask a question, if the president wants to respond in writing. There is in our NAACP online, and I think in the last meeting, that wrongly reported that my membership was revoked. The only thing I'm asking, are we going to fix that and maybe edit that out of the, I'm asking you to respond later, but it is in the, you go on the site, our website, it's recorded there, and that's erroneous, and I just want to know that at some point we can't talk about in the future correcting that or editing it out. And that's all I wanted to say. I'm glad to see everybody. God bless you.
Thank you, I'm gonna stay focused on this, we're not gonna talk about that. And so in any event, Sister Smith,
Thank you.
and I think I can, meet this in because of Ralph's report.
Okay.
On a very happy note,
Okay.
I'm looking for volunteers to be in the Juneteenth parade.
Yes, yes.
You either walk or ride.
Okay.
And I have 4 so far, and I know you're gonna be there.
Yes.
I know you're gonna be there, so I brought a sign up.
As soon as we join the meeting, we could go and fill it out for you.
Okay, great.
Alright. All right, so there's no other new business about the reports that were given, then I'm gonna get, a motion to adjourn the meeting, and then we're making a join Sister Smith, we're going to fill out. Okay, the motion to adjourn the meeting. Okay, the general meeting of the NAACP for Anne Arundel County, May 18th. We've gotten a motion to join the meeting, and at this point, the meeting has been adjourned. I will say a prayer in about 5 to 10 seconds for those who want to stay here for that.